Mattel's talked about it for months. They have promised us that they were going to really reinvent the basics line this next year. Well, went to the store and I found the newest wave of Championship Showdown. So not only do I get to get some of my favorite wrestlers, looking specifically at Stone Cold, AJ, and Kevin, but we also get to see just what the basics are going to look like going forward. And, also, I like the Championship Showdown basics. They tend to have a little bit more paint, a little bit more detail, look nice. One of my favorite Bret Harts ever come from one of these packs. Alongside that, I figured I haven't seen this set at the store before, so we're going to check these guys out first, show you what we've been dealing with when it comes to the Championship Showdown, and then we're going to get into the new guys, just so we can really take in how they've changed the formula. Alright, so this is from Series 14 of Championship Showdown. It's Mankind and The Rock. This is from the amazing match where Mankind won his first ever World Championship. You got some portraits over here on the side. Rock looks a little bit weird, and Mick Foley, I like that little smile. It's very sweet, very cute. And then on the back, they have some basic stuff, other people we could have gotten in this set. I've not found any of these guys, and I would like to get all of these sets. But you can see Mankind, he's a brawler from parts unknown, has the mandible claw. The Rock is also a brawler, he's from Miami, Florida, and his finishing move is the Rock Bottom. No real revelations there. So let's go ahead and open them up, see what we think. So, with this pack, we get Mick Foley and The Rock, of course. We also get The Rock's World Championship. Now, these are the original basics. This is kind of the original format. So you have a ball joint at the head, a universal at the shoulder, a universal at the elbow, universal at the wrist, a swivel at the waist, back and forward at the thighs, no side to side. A very stiff knee. It always feels like you're going to break it on these guys when you're trying to use it. One sec, gotta fix my lighting here. And then a swivel at the boot. So, nothing too insane when it comes to the posing, but you get these guys because they're cheap. It's an easy way to get some of the more popular and modern wrestlers. Most wrestlers get their first figure as a basic, they get an elite later. So, basics have their place, especially if you want like a more niche kind of modern costume. A lot of times they don't make it to the elite scale. But I do really like this Mick Foley. The head sculpt is fine. I like it a lot, but it doesn't really look like Mick. But they did paint the rhinestones, or whatever you'd call it, on the mask. The hair is a little bit flat, but at the same time, it's fine. And I do like they remember that he wore a bow tie for this. Meanwhile, The Rock, very standard basic Rock. Good head sculpt. Articulation's exactly the same as the Mankind. And he does have his tattoos, and of course the championship, which I'm actually going to take that away from him. Because on my shelf, sorry Rocky. On my shelf, I think the Mixter is going to hang on to that. It was his first belt after all. Oh, come on. If I can find a way to get him to hold it. Maybe if I put the thumb through. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. I'm going to put the thumb through one of the belt hoops. And now he can hold it the way I want him to. There we go. Okay. So, as you can see, that's what we can usually... God. Okay. There. As you can see, that's what you can normally expect from basic packs. But now we're going to look at the updated ones. The guys that are supposed to be new and improved. Here's our first pack. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. This is from their feud in 2017, I believe. It was over the US Championship. I actually remember liking their matches, but I think we were all kind of disappointed because at that time, these two were like the most engaging people on the roster. And even though their matches were good, they were never, show stealers. And it always came down to weird finishes and booking. And then here on the back. So, Kevin Owens is a brawler. He's from Montreal, and he has the pop-up powerbomb. AJ Styles, however, is a technician. He's from Gainesville, Georgia, near my neck of the woods. And he has the Styles Clash. And then we have the US belt, which out of all the modern WWE belts, might be my favorite one just because, I don't know, it looks different. But let's go ahead and pop these guys open. In all honesty, my first thought is these guys feel really good. The plastic feels better than the other basics. Now, looking at it, you do still have ball joint at the head. You have a universal at the shoulder, but it does go a bit farther up. Universal at the wrist still, and the universal at the wrist. You have a swivel at the waist. universal at the thigh, which was the big selling point, but quite frankly, even that is a major improvement, just getting more range in the arm. The knee, knee is still stiff. Knee is still very stiff. And then still just a swivel at the top of the boot. So you do have some big improvements in terms of range, especially in those hips. AJ has the same improvements. I will say this, AJ's head sculpt is a little strange. I don't know if it's necessarily off, it just looks strange. It's something about the eyes. Kevin Owens, meanwhile, looks great. Between the two of them, Kevin's probably my preferred one. And that was true even for the characters, because at this time, even though AJ was my favorite wrestler on the roster, I loved Kevin Owens saying he was the face of America. It gave me like kind of Bret Hart vibes from '97. But it was so cool, like, yeah, a Canadian is the best American. It was great. Unfortunately, the US belt is made out to AJ, so this must have been from a rematch of theirs. Are these supposed to be the attires from the weird house show that AJ won the belt on? Because I don't know if you guys remember that. He won the belt at Madison Square Gardens. And, like, we got, like, a crappy, like, potato cam to show us that. In any case, that looks pretty good. I already have a Face of America Kevin Owens, so I was probably going to give AJ the belt anyway. But I would have liked it if maybe they had kept it vague. Then again, it is kind of cool that you do get a personalized belt in these packs, because they are pretty cheap. So, overall, these guys are good. I think I'm a little less taken with them than I was the Mankind and Rock set, but that's more just because I like getting Mankind figures, and I have less of him than I do of, say, AJ Styles. Yeah, I got the Turtle Killer, but hey, it came with the Roman Reigns, and to be fair, I think that's the only Logan Paul I own, and more than likely the only one I ever will own. I kind of bought it just so I could complete this set, but, yeah, he's here. Isn't he, didn't he win a belt at the Saudi Arabia show? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell off wrestling a little bit this year. I just had some stuff go down. I need to catch back up. But in any case, here's who we got. So looking at these two, Roman is basic. Like, the pants especially just look kind of cheap, but this is a good looking Roman Reigns head and torso. And the new articulation is great. My one complaint is because the joint, they didn't complete his shoulder tattoo. But overall, like, this is a very serviceable Roman Reigns. Obviously not a patch on the elites, but if you just want a modern head at the table, it's good. Logan Paul, I thought was actually going to surprise me. It did not. His head is very wonky. I don't know what's wrong with him necessarily. It might be something about the hair, might be something about the eyes. The costume looks fine. It looks decent, and of course he has the new articulation. But yeah, I was actually kind of worried that, like, I was going to wind up singing the praises of the Logan Paul figure for some reason. I think he's on par with the Roman. I think this set is fine if you just want one or both of these guys, or if you want, of course, the Universal belt. But I would actually kind of mark it below the AJ and the Kevin Owens, because even though AJ's face was just a little bit wonky as well, at least those figures were good, they were exciting, they had a more unique belt, whereas every Roman you've bought in the past 2 years have come with that blue belt. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, of course he's had it for that long, but yeah, overall, it's a serviceable set. I think it might have been better for people who maybe don't own as many Roman Reigns as I do. As dumb as it may sound, this was the single 2-pack I was the most excited for out of the new 3. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's easily in my top 10, maybe my top 5 wrestlers of all time. Triple H is great too. He's probably in the top 20. Both of these are attires I don't have. I liked it back when they used to just hang out in street clothes. This is one of my favorite feuds of all time. I'm pretty sure this is from their 2001 feud. And of course, you get the world title. So I'm actually really excited for this 2-pack. Let's see if it delivers. Oh, wait, I should probably do this too. So, of course, Stone Cold, Brawler, Victoria, Texas, Stone Cold Stunner, Triple H Brawler. Now, that's interesting, because usually they kind of label him more as a technician. I don't know. Greenwich, Connecticut, and Pedigree. It's not Greenwich, it's Greenwich. I know how to pronounce that. I'm not a hillbilly. Alright, so, looking at the Austin first, and I love this. This is great. He has a good open mouth head sculpt. Every Stone Cold should have an open mouth so he can trash talk. He has his denim shorts. the Stone Cold shirt on the back. By the way, I forgot that this was a logo design of his, because I thought that the Smoking Skull zombie figure was kind of stylized. No, it's taken directly from this Smoking Skull. He, of course, has his leg braces. They're probably gonna get, yeah, they are. They get a little bit in the way of the knee articulation, which is unfortunate, and you're gonna have to stretch them out to get them further up the leg so that they don't bother you that way. But you can do it. You can see I'm literally doing it right here on camera. You just gotta massage it all the way up, and then there we go. And then you, of course, have swivel waist, universal hips, universal shoulders, all the things we've talked about, all the things we were excited about. So, Stone Cold looks good. Now, Triple H I thought was going to be a little bit more basic. But then, of course, he has this really funny t-shirt, the "I am your pain." And then on the back, "I know you can't take me." Head sculpt is good. I'm not big on, like, all black tracksuit figures like this, but, like, I think this is decent. It's a good little Triple H, and at the very least, for right now, he's going to be unique in the collection, because he's going to be the only one with this articulation scheme I have in this outfit. And, of course, you have Stone Cold's championship belt. Oop. Keep spiking the camera in this video. We're just going to let Steve hang on to that. God. Alright, let's bring them all back in, see what we think. So there we go, the first new style of Championship Showdown 2-packs, as well as the old Mankind and Rock style. These have always been one of my favorite things to pick up from Mattel. Of course, Elites are always going to be better figures, but with this line, we get more kind of niche costumes and more specific moment attires. It gives you a good duo of figures that you can set up to stay together. Like I said, one of my favorite 2-packs of all time in wrestling was the one they did that was the 97 Bret Hart and Undertaker. These, none of them ever really reached those levels, but there are some individual standouts. I'm looking specifically at the Kevin Owens, the Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the Mankind. Those three are great. That said, the Logan Paul, not great. AJ and Triple H have some weirdness to them. Triple H and Roman Reigns have some kind of samey energy. Same could go for The Rock. But at the end of the day, these are great figures. And I do think that even though they've only added really 2 points of articulation, well, really more like 1.5 points, I already feel it. It's a great new range of articulation. And moreover, the plastic feels better. The face sculpts are a touch better, AJ notwithstanding. And the paint is a bit sharper. So, for all those reasons, I think they're going to fit better with my Elites than, say, the Mankind and the Rock would, or any of the older Championship Showdown packs would. For all those reasons, I would totally recommend these. Now, I do need to stress, only get them if you're into one or preferably both of the wrestlers inside, because these aren't going to be groundbreaking figures, but they are good bang for your buck. For the price of an Elite, you could have 2 pretty good basic figures.